Frederick Douglass. My mother and I were separated when I was but an infant, before I knew her as my mother. It is a common custom in the part of Maryland from which I ran away to part children from their mothers at a very early age. Let's see what this thing said. Your sons and your daughters shall be delivered to another people while you look on, and your eyes shall strain for them constantly, but you shall be helpless. Frequently, before the child has reached its 12th month, its mother is taken from it and hired out on some farm a considerable distance off, and the child is placed under the care of an old woman too old for field labor. For what this separation is done, I do not know, unless it is to hinder and develop of the child's affection toward his mother, and to blunt and destroy the natural affection of the mother for the child. This is the inevitable result. We are living prophecy. All right. Verse 33. And people you do not know shall eat up the produce of your soil and all your gains. You shall be abused and downtrodden continually. Contrary to beliefs, the Book of Mormon gives you some extra detail about these lands, your soil, okay? Because we were scattered, and we've been all over the world because we were already in different kinds of captivities already. So some people went back, some people didn't. But early in history, if you got a Book of Mormon, you can look it up or Google it, whatever you want to do. The Book of Mormon tells you that the Israelites came to America. Yeah, the Israelites, the 10 tribes, the 10 northern tribes came to America. The southern tribes stayed back, right? So the Israelites, that they like to say is white, but 1828 definition of American, Webster's Dictionary, says that the American were the copper-colored races, the aboriginal, the indigenous people found here, the copper-colored races found here. Israelites. Christopher Columbus came here with a Hebrew interpreter, Arabic, and I forgot the other little part, but yeah, put all that together. Now they'll sit there and call you crazy, but put it all together. 2 + 2 gonna give you 4. Okay. Let's reread 33. People you do not know shall eat up the produce of your soil and all your gains, and you shall be abused and downtrodden continually until you are driven mad by what your eyes behold. The Lord will afflict you at the knees and thighs with a severe inflammation from which you shall never recover. From the sole of your foot to the crown of your head, the Lord will drive you and the king you have set over you to a nation unknown to you or your fathers, where you shall serve other gods of wood and stone. So he's telling you, you're going to serve other gods under these other people. Because all of the nations worship devils. They sacrifice to devils. They have idol gods, all of the nations, other than the Israelites. because their God is the Most High, the one and true living God. Think about it. Okay. Let's go. Because I want to give you something very specific. Let's go to 40. No, 41. Though you beget sons and daughters, they shall not remain with you, for they shall go into captivity. Though you beget sons and daughters, they shall not remain with you, for they shall go into captivity. Let me go to 49. The Lord will bring a nation against you from afar, from the end of the earth, which will swoop down like the eagle, a nation whose language you do not understand, a ruthless nation that will show the old no regard and the young no mercy. Now, I hope this is making it a little more clear, because I think I'm going to split this up in different parts, because I want you to keep your attention span. This is very important. So this might be split up into 3, 4, I don't know how many parts. But remember this. We were slaves here in this country. We did not speak English when we came here, nor did we speak English when they came here. Because you got to remember, I just told you the Israelites were already here. And then they went and found more. So we didn't speak English. We spoke our language. Our languages. Okay? We believed in our customs. Some of us fell off into idolatry. That is why we were given up to these curses, because we did not follow the commandments as a whole, as a family. We did not listen. So we went into captivity many times. But there was something significant about this last one. Okay? Something significant. And I think I'm going to end it with this real quick. And, let you take it for what it is. If you fail to observe faithfully all the terms of this teaching that are written in this book, to reverence this honored and awesome name. Now they took his name out, but Yahuwah, Yahweh, Hawa, the Most High, Eya. Many names is what we called him. But the Lord, your God, the Lord will inflict extraordinary plagues upon you and your offspring, strange and lasting plagues, malignant and chronic diseases. He will bring back up on you all the sicknesses of Egypt that you dreaded so, and they shall cling to you. 64. The Lord will scatter you among all the peoples from one end of the earth to the other, And there you shall serve other gods, wood and stone, whom neither you nor your ancestors have experienced. I think that's a clue. I'm going to say that for part 2. But the Lord will send you back to Egypt in galleys by a route which I told you you shall not see again. Therefore you shall offer yourselves there, you shall offer yourselves for sale to your enemies as male and female slaves, but none will buy. And they're going to take you. And ain't nobody going to save you. We are blinded because of our religion. Black people, listen to me close. In this captivity, you see the prophecy right here in Deuteronomy 28. It's real. You see the prophecy. In that prophecy, while we were in this captivity as slaves, our ancestors were taught this religion. This religion belongs to our oppressor. The book belongs to our ancestor, but they didn't know that. You see, we have the knowledge of knowing we are the Hebrews because history proved it. It matches prophecy perfectly. So we are the children of the book, my black people. I don't know what tribe they say Judah, I don't know, but we are Israelites, okay? And our ancestors were forced to accept this religion or die. In this religion, we were convinced we were niggas. In this religion, we were told we were anything else but Israelites. Although they do like to point out the slave part. Slaves obey your master, master be good to your slave. Were they good to the slave? And who is the slave? Who has been the slave? Who in these scriptures? Because they like to say, oh, everybody's been a slave. Sure. But who's in prophecy? We're talking about the scriptures here. Who's in prophecy going into different captivities? It was the Hebrew, the Israelites. So our ancestors, in this religion were taught we were Africans, we were Hamites. So we believed it, and we passed that down to our children. We listened to them because we either listened or died. We learned their language, but they wouldn't let us read. Our pastors and preachers were only allowed to teach what the oppressor told them to teach us. And even down to this day, it is still mandated somewhere in the government, somewhere in their secret writings, in their fine print, do not tell the black people who they are. Go ask your pastor and see what he tell you. See how he work around it, or some straight lies that he give you. When I just showed you how prophecy lined up with life, and it just so happened that it was talking about us. So we were taught in this religion a lot of lies. A lot of lies. And in this religion, we were taught that we are not under the law. But we are in this predicament, ladies and gentlemen, right now, today. because we stopped keeping the code. We stopped listening to the voice of the Most High, which is his commandments, his law. He said in this contract that if you follow my commandments, you will be placed on high above all nations. And if you violate this contract, you're going to be at the bottom. What else I got to say to y'all, man? We must return to him. That's how we return to him. He says, when you follow everything I tell you to do this day. What day? That day that this contract was official. And he gave you the word. He gave you the commandments. He told you what he wanted you to do. What he wanted you to do, Hebrew. Me too. He told me. He told you. He told us. And we don't follow the contract. Why? Because we were convinced in this religion that we don't need to follow that contract. Why? Because we follow the contract. He sets everything back in order. We return to him, follow his ways and not this religion's ways. His ways, not the religion's ways. His ways, not the religion's ways that we were forced to take from the oppressor. Think about it. We follow it. We go back to him. He protects us. He is our power. Then we have the power to protect ourselves because he is our power. They won't be able to do what they do to us now. You understand? There won't be no more random black people getting killed and craziness like that. Ain't nobody hanging from no trees. You understand? If we return to him, not follow this religion that the oppressor, all of the gods of the nations are idols. They sacrifice to devils. All of the nations means everybody except Israel. You are Israelites, black people. You are Hebrews. Your God is the Most High. He laid his groundwork down. He laid his rules down. Everything else, that's just uncivilized.
Welcome to TrillEmotion.com. The melody of your dreams.